The other piece of what you mentioned about AI, I think ties into client expectations, because one of the things we are seeing is people are Googling their cases, or they're putting their case facts into a ChatGPT or something like that.
Trying to get some value on what it should settle for.
Oh, yeah.
That's
they
best.
called me and they're like, I think my knee sprain where I went back to work 3 days later is worth $250,000 because
the internet told me the internet told me I should be getting $1 million for my sprained shoulder that doesn't need surgery.
Well, somebody in North Dakota got it. Or the best example of all.
My buddy down the street settled a shoulder case for $250,000. So why is mine only $60,000?
AI is making that worse.
Right.
And so I have said to more than one client after they've sent me a 12-paragraph email asking me questions about their case.
Which was absolutely written by AI.
All AI. So I pick up the phone and I ask them, which AI model are you using? And then we'll answer your question.
Well, it's interesting because the big case in law when it comes to that is the Starbucks case, right? Everybody's like, well, they got 20 million or whatever, $10 million for a spilled cup of coffee. There's
the McDonald's case. Yeah, the McDonald's case.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so now they don't tell the whole story there.
Well, and do you know why?
Horrific burn.
It got turned around, right?
No. So what actually happened? Because I've read this case, and I had to do research on it for a class. She had to sign non-disclosure agreements about the case in general, and the most that was allowed to be released was hot coffee spilled on her, and she sued and got money. Yeah. So they use their PI to turn around and make a play for outrageous lawsuits.
Yeah.
When in reality, she had 4th-degree burns.
Yeah, she did.
On her genital.
And from what I understand, McDonald's had been warned many times. But
it's worse than that. I mean,
it's worse than that.
So you didn't go back for a second cup,
It
right?
released a dozen times. The health inspector told them that the coffee machine was turned up too high. Several people had already had burns from it. And she had the cup of coffee. They did not appropriately fasten the lid. And it spilled onto her lap, on her genital areas. I think she had 3 cosmetic surgeries to try to fix.
It was the amount of pain, suffering, and struggle that poor woman went through for this case.
She did not get enough money.
And then she was ridiculed in the media. And then I think whatever she got was ultimately on appeal was cut down too.
It was because they did put a lot of money into punitive damages, and I think it exceeded the statutory limitations for it.
Yeah, and so there's an example. I'm sure you've heard. It wasn't work comp, I don't think, right? Okay, but there's an example of people. You get that they got this. Where I must be getting 15 million, right?
Yep.
For my sprained ankle.